Hello everyone, we're gonna solve a problem with a AHP model. You see the hiring process, and there is 3 people for this process, and that name is Steve, Jane and Maisa. And there is criteria, you see, personal interview, experience and references. In this question there is matrices, and for criteria you see these matrices. For personal interview, this table, this matrix, and for experience, you see the number. We will use these numbers on Excel sheet, and for references, you see the another matrices here. I copied these numbers on Excel sheet, and let's see these numbers on Excel sheet. For criteria, you see the experiences, references and personal interview situations. You see the numbers from questions, all the values the same, and there is total values here for this table, and the same process for table. And now we will use the AHP model, but how we gonna do this? You see the weights tables. We can't compare this criteria with these numbers because there is differences between all numbers. So we need to use this formulation for comparing. You see these cells. Our formalization is here. What is that? B4 over B0. That means for I to I over total their total numbers. So for second weights, B5 over B7. That means same process for experience over total value. So we can use this formalization, and after that we will find their weights and arithmetic mean. How we will find this arithmetic mean? For personal interview, we choose the average all the numbers. For this we can click average and choose these cells. So when we find these values, total values must be all of them is 1. So you see we find all of them was 1. So that one is for just criteria, and now we will examine for all values for arithmetic mean. You see the all arithmetic means here for personal interview, experience and references, and we items this process for all steps. And now we can compare these items, these criteria, and these names. Which one is most useful for us, and which one is not? So best options. I choose the best options for here. Now we compare. We need to examine all these names, Steve, Jane and Maisa weights. So for personal interview, arithmetic mean times all Steve's value. That means this cell, this cell, this cell. And for interview mean times all Steve's value. You see this formalization here. all the values are here, and our total values, now you see it here, 1.14, and the same process for J and me names, and the best option, the biggest one, so that's the Mesa. We need to hire Mesa the job. Other problem is related to game theory, and there is two companies, and there is advertising process, advertising strategy, and two criteria you see here. This advertising with television, newspaper or radio, and the numbers you see here. We have two question here. Formulate the problem as a two-person zero-sum game and determine the advertising media for each company and range for the value of the game. And can each company operate with a single pure strategy? For this problem, we use 8 strategy, advertising strategy. You see the numbers and the name of strategies. For first strategy is do nothing, do anything about the advertising. Second one use just TV. Third one use just radio. Fourth one is just use newspaper. 5 TV and radio. 6 TV and newspaper, and 7 radio and newspaper. 8 used all of them. We have two companies you see here. We need to find maximum, and on the row you need the minimum values. Find the minimum values. For column you need to find maximum values. For this table you see the strategies numbers again, and percentage here. For first strategy we do nothing, so we need to write here just 0. That means these values minus these values. Another cell, we need to this cell minus this cell. All these numbers coming with this, and for example for 8, this cell minus this cell. So I just wrong and I fixed this. And another strategy 2, we have a TV on this, and our TV percentage is 50. So I put this here, and this cell minus this cell, you see the 50, and this cell minus this cell, it's 0. Again we need to use all process this column 2. So all this process the same. We will just formalization. We will use this formalization, and we will find these values, and after that we see the best option here. This the game has a central point is 8 and 8, cell 8 and cell 8, column 8 and row 8. You see the 0. This is central point, and this is our tables. And another question was determine a range for the value of the game, and can each company operate with single pool strategy. When we look at the table, the game has a central point at row 8 and column 8. This means that both companies venture into using all three medias. We need to use on this strategy. We need to use TV, we need to use radio, and we need to use newspaper, because company B and company A make profit. Both of them make profit, win-win, make profit on this strategy. The value of the game, you see here, 0.